Welcome to Wild Card Weekend.
There's Tom Brady, 6-time Super Bowl champ, 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. You know what he's saying to his wide receivers? He is saying, let's go.
Julian Edelman says, I love the postseason. He thrives there. Postseason receptions, second all-time. Receiving yards, second all-time. And last year's Super Bowl MVP.
And there is Ryan Tannehill. He has 4 regular season wins versus Brady. Tonight, he plans to join the short list of QBs to beat him in the playoffs.
And how about head coach Mike Vrabel, the former Patriot, coming back with his team? He made the decision of the year, as far as I'm concerned, benching Marcus Mariota for Ryan Tannehill, who's paid off.
And tonight, the Patriots begin defense of their Super Bowl title at home against the hard-charging Tennessee Titans, who, folks, are playing as well as any team in the league. It's the usual sold-out crowd at Gillette Stadium, where the Pats have won 9 straight playoff games, and the forecast, foggy with temperatures in the 40s. And hello, everyone. I'm James Brown. Welcome to the NFL Today, powered by Ram Trucks. And on this playoff football Saturday, we begin with our wild card headline here on CBS. A big matchup tonight in Foxborough as longtime Patriot Mike Vrabel returns for the first time as a Titans head coach to take on his former teammate Tom Brady and his mentor Bill Belichick. Emotions should be running high for this one.
These two teams, they take on the identity of their head coach.
Hey, all these cameras, they didn't come here to see.
Obviously, not too much to stay.
But we told you after the game, they were going to be talking about the Titans.
What's that again?
We know we're going to have to scratch and claw and fight for everything that we get.
Just keep doing what we're doing.
Because it doesn't get easier, it gets harder.
Basically walking into the Viper's den.
Still have opportunity in front of us here.
Survive, advance.
We got to turn the page, okay?
When it gets tight and gritty, it favors us.
We need our best football, and hopefully it'll be there next week.
1, 2, 3.
I don't know what else there is to say.
Well, Belichick doesn't need to say much. His playoff record speaks for itself. All right, folks, here at the desk alongside my colleagues who are never at a loss for words, Phil Simms, Coach Bill Cowher, Nate Burleson, and Boomer Esiason. A lot to watch and critique in this showdown, but a number of eyes will be where, Boom?
All right, on Tom Brady, guys. This is his 41st playoff game for the Patriots, 30-10, of course, 20-3 at home at Gillette Stadium. Take a look at some of these numbers. 40 starts, already 30 wins, 11,000 yards, 73 touchdown passes. This will also be his 326th game in that uniform right there, and I hope that that's where his career ends, in that uniform. Not tonight, but maybe 3 or 4 years down the road. I don't want to see him in another uniform, guys.
Well,
sorry about that.
Look, Boomer, he's had a great career. You know, you talk about this New England offense. Who's had success against them on the defensive side? There's something these guys have in common. Romeo Crennel, the Houston Texans defensive coordinator, Brian Flores, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, Matt Patricia, Detroit. What were they? They were all defensive coordinators up in New England, so they know this offense. And they know if you want to stop it, you got to stop Julian Edelman. All of them double-teamed him, try to stop the screen game to the wide receivers and the running backs. But what did Mike Vrabel do to this New England offense last year? They're down in Tennessee. He beats them 34-10. He gave them blitzes they had not seen. It was a great game plan. So this is going to be a good chess match tonight.
It will be. And you talk about bad New England offense. I really think it's trickled down to the New England defense, because you're talking about no margin of error and trying to do too much. And these last 5 games are 2-3. They've only had 2 takeaways in 4 of those 5 games. And so you look at their points, they're up, because I think what's happening right now, they're losing the trust in the offense, and it goes back to the defense. Stephon Gilmore probably coming off his worst game last week because he was trying to make plays, trying to do too many things outside of his job. And what's Bill Belichick's mantra? Do your job. And I think right now they're trying to do too much because of the bad offense, and I think it's trickled down into the defense.
That's good stuff, Coach. Let's talk about the team that's going to win this game, the Titans. That Titans offense. Listen, we're coming off the heels of bringing in the new year, and everybody wants to recreate themselves. That's exactly what Ryan Tannehill has done. And he's also recreated this offense. Since week 7, yards per rush, per play, per attempt, and of course at the bottom, 17 rushing TDs. And that right there, that's a recipe for success, but it's also ingredients for the road to Miami. If they want to get a win today, they're going to have to run the ball. Derrick Henry, he is a fantastic talent. We'll have the next 30 minutes to talk about him. But when he gets the rock, it opens up this offense. Not only does it do well for the rushing attack, but that play-action pass game is as explosive as any I've seen in the league this year.
All I know is that we keep talking about the Titans beating the Patriots last year, 30-10. Marcus Mariota was the quarterback. As you saw in that last graphic, Ryan Tannehill has never won in Foxborough. And the one thing I can tell you, it's been a long week up in New England after losing that game to Miami last week. I expect that this defense will come out and they will play their hearts out.
What, did you hear Nate play Nostradamus? He used the verb they will win. Yeah. Wow. Hey, folks, now for more news and notes from around the league, including Tom Brady's future with the Patriots, let's welcome in our NFL Today insider, Jason Lockenforward.
Well, JB, Brady absolutely, positively will play football in 2020, I'm told. The only question is where. Remains to be seen if New England's still the best fit for him and vice versa after nearly 20 years there. If Brady does move on, the LA Chargers hold a unique appeal, as I reported earlier this season. Brady's offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, is a long shot to be back with the Pats. He's a very strong candidate for the Browns and Panthers openings. He's eager to interview with both those teams next week, sources said. After turning down opportunities in the past, McDaniels is definitely open to a new challenge. He's in play with the Giants as well, but Baylor's Matt Rule is the top target there, and the Titans have no intentions of letting QB Ryan Tannehill go. They'll apply the franchise tag if necessary. Following his breakthrough season, I'm told, they'd love to secure him to a multi-year deal. But boom, as you well know, that won't come cheap after Tannehill saved their season.
That's right. And you're saying there's going to be this mass exodus up in New England. I hope it doesn't happen. I'm not one of these guys that's into all this stuff. Tom Brady belongs in that uniform. That uniform belongs in Canton. I hope he doesn't go anywhere else.
It's Wild Card Weekend on the NFL Today. Tracy Wolfson sat down with the NFL's newest rushing champ, Derrick Henry. And you don't want to miss what he had to say about the Titans' chances of taking down the Patriots. Speaking of New England, the defending champs haven't seen themselves over the last few weeks.
Miami Dolphins handing the Patriots a tough loss, denying them a first-round bye.
But TB12 and company have always been able to turn it on come playoff time. Can the Pats flip the switch tonight in Foxborough? Mike Vrabel knows a thing or two about playing for Bill Belichick in the Patriot way. Will that help the Titans in their quest to dethrone the defending champions?
I haven't had a paycheck with a Patriots logo on it since 2008.
All that and more when the NFL Today returns. The NFL Today on CBS Sports is powered by Ram Trucks, Motor Trend's back-to-back Truck of the Year. The NFL Today is sponsored by The NFL Today is sponsored by Verizon, the network more people rely on. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Ram Trucks, Motor Trend's back-to-back Truck of the Year.
All right, folks, time now to go inside the pregame HQ delivered by Domino's, and the Patriots will have their hands full trying to contain the Titans' Derrick Henry, folks. He ran all over the Texans for 211 yards and 3 touches on Sunday, and he'll look to keep things rolling tonight. And with more on the Titans' bruising running back, let's head out live to Foxborough and welcome in our Tracy Wolfson. Hello, Tracy.
Hello, JB. Derrick Henry has been a winner all his life. He was Florida's Mr. Football in high school. He won a national championship at Alabama. He was the Heisman Trophy winner in 2015. And just last week, in spectacular fashion, he won the 2019 rushing title.
He needs 48 for the title.
Oh, we got to get that 15.
For the rushing title.
Let's go.
That was one incredible scene down there when you set the rushing title.
For the title, and he's going to break it on a big one. He's going to get the title by a mile as Henry takes it all the way.
What was that moment like for you?
I really had no idea about where I was at as far as getting a rushing title, but just seeing everybody else's reaction, my teammates, and see how happy they were.
You did it, buddy! You did it!
I think I just, feed off them. That's what fuels me, and that's what makes it all worth it.
How would you describe your running style?
I don't really like to, describe my running style. I like the people who watch me to say how they think I run.
And
was big back rolling.
That was all Henry.
He is a monster.
He's getting stronger as the season goes on.
As the game goes on and the more chance I get the ball, I get in a rhythm, the stronger I get and the better I get throughout the game.
How about the physicality, the stiff arm? Where does that come from?
I've been using stiff arms since I was a kid. I've always been tall and always been kind of, long, so stiff arm just came natural as a kid, and I've been using it ever since.
Certainly in the playoffs, running the football is paramount, and I know Coach Vrabel has been harping on that all week. Do you relish that opportunity?
For the teams who really run the football well in this type of weather, advanced teams last year who were successful in the playoffs, they ran the ball effectively more than the other teams. You got to be efficient. You got to have the mindset. I think that's the most effective thing.
So what will it take for the Titans to win this game?
They have the history, they have the players, they have the coaches. They're a different team in the playoffs. We have that underdog approach, and we know it's not going to be our way early, but as long as we stick with our plan and do what we need to do, I think we give ourselves a chance.
Like I said at the beginning of the year, why not us, bro? Let's go. Let's go. Hey, Titans on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Well, we have a little bit of a surprise for you because we know it's your birthday. Happy birthday. During the game, you're going to be celebrating it. 26 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what's the birthday wish?
I wish we do great as a team, and the final wish is we all know what it is. So, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
So, guys, not only is it Derrick Henry's birthday today, but apparently there is a winter storm Henry headed this way to Foxborough tonight. Now, I don't think it's going to have any effect on this game, but I can tell you Derrick Henry wants to have a big effect on this one. JB?
All right, Tracy, and not only a big effect on that one, Phil, not atypical for a running back in year 5 to be heading down, but you said he is heading up.
It's all up for Derrick Henry, and I tell you, when you look at his numbers, you see why. Look what he's done so far this year. Over 137 yards rushing a game, 6.3 yards per rush, 11 touchdowns. Those are really unbelievable numbers in this day and age. The first year he came into the NFL, he was still a college running back. By the second year, he really adjusted. And when you watch him run, he doesn't make those sharp cuts that we see a lot of running backs make. He kind of swerves because he's so big and so hard to bring down. It's tough. And Bill Cowher, tonight he's going against a defensive line or defense that has a lot of big dudes on it.
Yeah, they're large people, Phil. You're talking about Danny Shelton and Lawrence Guy, and they do defend the run very well. Again, I'll tell you about Derrick Henry. It's not about it's about the attempts and not the yards, because their offense is set up with play action. But you're going against a defense right there. Jamie Collins, we talked about Lawrence Guy and Danny Shelton, Dietrich Wise. They will defend the run. What does Bill Belichick do? He will take away your strength as he perceives it and make you beat with the second element of your offense. So I think right now it could be a long day again for Derrick Henry, but we'll see if Ryan Tannehill can answer the bell.
Yeah, Derrick Henry is a beast. I was able to talk to him, and I asked him what changed. And he said a couple of years ago, I was sitting here trying to figure out who I was as a player. He talked to Eddie George, and Eddie George said, run like your career depends on it. And that's when he went out last year towards the end of the season and really started doing his thing. And then this year, of course, he took the rushing title, and he runs behind the big fellas. Those are the big hog mollies, and that's why Derrick Henry can get in those gaps. But here's the thing, that defense, don't try to arm tackle Derrick Henry.
You're right.
He'll run through that. The way to take a big tree down is you got to chop it at the trunk.
2 guys in the Patriots defense. That's pretty good. 2 guys in the Patriots defense. Donta Hightower, tremendous tackler. He is the heart and soul of that defense. I don't care what anybody says. Stephon Gilmore coming off of his worst game of the year last year against Miami. He'll be all over A.J. Brown. Look for him to be sticking to him like glue tonight, making it hard for the young rookie wide receiver.
All right, hey, folks, and on a sad note, former Cincinnati Bengals and Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach and colleague of ours here at CBS Sports, Sam White, passed away on Thursday at age 74 due to complications from cancer. White spent 8 seasons at the helm in Cincinnati. Most notably, he led the '88 Bengals, who were quarterbacked by our Boomer Esiason, to a Super Bowl appearance against the Niners in Super Bowl 23.
Thank you, JB. We had a most memorable 8-year run together with the Bengals. Coach White entrusted me with his revolutionary no-huddle offense, and he taught me how to become an NFL quarterback. He was creative. He was an innovator. He was also an agitator to opposing coaches, the league office, and I'm sure some referees as well. I think I speak for all of my coaches and teammates who shared the room with him when I say there was never a dull moment. He made it fun. And on behalf of all of us here at CBS Sports and the NFL Today, we send along our condolences and prayers to Sam's wife, Jane, his children, Zach and Carrie, and his 6 grandchildren. Rest in peace, Coach. One final Who Day.
Last week, huh? You really want to talk about last week?
Yeah, so everything was great. Bobby and I would do what we do every week 17 for the past 9 years.
Watching the Pats and packing up for our first round bye week vacation.
It's one of our favorite weeks of the season.
Oh, it's the best. It's amazing that the Pats have always given this week back to their fans. I mean, and given Mary and I some of our greatest memories.
Traveling around the world before the playoffs really start, we'll do our job.
Yeah, the Pats keep racking up those wins.
And Big Bob and I keep racking up those miles. Oh, that poor camel.
For us, there's really no better way to celebrate the Pats season. Well, until last week.
Brady picked off.
How are we losing to the Dolphins?
Bobby, relax. It's the Dolphins.
Hey, Belichick, where's the defense?
Brady, touchdown.
Oh, it's all tied up, Bobby boy.
The Dolphins have beaten the New England Patriots. No bye week for them.
We're not going to Hawaii. The worst part is, we didn't even get the trip insurance.
It's the Pats. No one gets the trip insurance.
The Patriots now on the wild card weekend for the first time in 10 years.
All you Pats fans, put vacation on hold for a little bit longer there, Boone.
You know, I heard that the Kansas City Chiefs fans want to fly Ryan Fitzpatrick out next week and honor him because they're the ones that are on the vacation this week, of course.
That's right. That's right. We'll see what happens. The wild card weekend has been wild. That's to say, oh, is that Tom Brady? I heard that Tom was a little bit more animated during the playoffs. Hey, you caught that?
I did catch it, man. What a throw by Tom Brady, and what a great player he is. But I'll tell you, take a look at their home record when they have to play in the wild card week. Not their home record, their overall record. Right. When they play in the postseason in the wild card, you can see right there 3-3. They have not had a lot of luck. They do not make it to the Super Bowl. This is going to be a very difficult road to be traveled if you are the Patriots of Bill Belichick.
Yeah, when you think about them getting the bye, they can rest, they can plan. But here's the gauntlet of quarterbacks they're going to have to go through. You have Ryan Tannehill, who's playing for a Super Bowl in a super deal. You have last year's MVP. And, of course, Lamar Jackson, who is...
Right. Well, he's going to be this year's MVP is what he's going to be. But I'll tell you one thing. If they get past the highest-rated quarterback in the league in Ryan Tannehill the last 10 games and have to go to Kansas City, just imagine what that is going to be like in Arrowhead, a redo of last year's AFC Championship game.
If they can indeed do this, they could be the greatest playoff run we've seen from Tom Brady yet, right?
I guess you're right.
Phil, Coach, what you guys got?
All right, thank you, Nate. I think Tom Brady did a great job of throwing it to Boomer because he didn't trust you, Nate, and we all know that quarterbacks have the best hands. But, Coach, let me talk about Ryan Tannehill. 7-3, he's really turned it around.
Yeah, he's in the perfect offense. We just did a feature on Derrick Henry, later of the league in rushing. What does that do? It sets up the play-action pass, and look what he's done this year. Completion percentage 75, and the best in the NFL in yards per attempt. I went back and watched him last year in Miami. A lot of the same things exist. You see right here, the running game, the line, the protection, and what you can do with this. Again, you can see, I played a run against New England when he was with Miami. What's it do? The long throw to Kenny Stills. You see the strong arm, you see the catch, again, you see the time. Again, this was last week, and this was, again, a play-action pass against the Houston Texans. Again, you go down, you see, what do? Derrick Henry, they're playing a run. What's that do? It gives you protection. It also gives you the whole field that you can use. Last year was Kenny Stills. This year's A.J. Brown. You can see the big plays that complement a running offense. Now, we all know that Ryan Tannehill has been winless up in New England, but you know what? This may be the best team he's had yet. JB coming in there tonight. Oh, Phil.
That's all right. A lot of people forget me all the time, Bill. Don't worry.
Defense.
But here we go. The Patriots defense. Look at the first 8 games, how tremendous they were. 8-0. The opponent's points per games, and how it's fallen off the last 8 games. You said at the beginning of the show, a lot of it has to do with the New England offense putting this defense on the field so much more. What did Ryan Fitzpatrick do last week? Played the game of his life. They did a lot of crossing routes. Why? Because New England plays man-to-man coverage, hard to cover guys going across the field. Good movement by Fitzpatrick. He sees the tight end Gesicki come over the middle. He takes it down inside, and then the very next play, he drops back. He gets pressure on the outside. You can do this against this New England defensive front. move in the pocket, buy time to throw. He says, nobody open, I'll take it in for the score. And this will be interesting because Ryan Tannehill has been moving around a lot, but the difference between them and what we saw, they'll throw it down the field more than Ryan Tannehill scrambles.
And they have a running game that complements that play-action game, and talked about it again. This is a different team that Ryan Tannehill's coming into Foxborough with. Jake.
Coach, you know that Phil would have been an unhappy camper if you'd thrown that to me for sure. Hey, folks, 2 more wild card matchups set for tomorrow, boom. That in the NFC. First up, it'll be the Saints. Boy, does Peyton have his squad playing well or what? And the Vikings, while the other wild card will feature the Seahawks taking on the Eagles. Speaking of the Vikings at the Saints, should we expect a Minnesota miracle there?
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to go with the not top 10 quarterback, Drew Brees, who I think should be in the top 10, by the way. You know what? Here's the thing. The Vikings come in. They're all beat up in the secondary. What does Drew Brees do better than anybody else? He finds Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas had a career year this year. He set the standard for wide receivers. They added Jared Cook. He's been such a great addition to this offense. Now, look at those long arms. Look at the great hands. Yeah. And look at Taysom Hill. He's another one. Taysom Hill, excuse me. And down the field, they move the ball around so much. That's why I love the Saints. They're 13-3, and they're playing on Wild Card Weekend. That's amazing.
Yeah, my quick rebuttal would be to double Michael Thomas, but they have so many weapons, and they can move that ball around. For the Minnesota Vikings, though, Dalvin Cook is playing, and he is one of the best running backs in the business. And people don't know, you mentioned the play action, Coach, when you're talking about the Titans. The play action for the Minnesota Vikings is a big part of who they are. I believe they're tied for first in touchdowns, along with Lamar Jackson, and how they utilize that play action. So if Dalvin Cook is healthy and can run the rock, then you can utilize Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, and, of course, Kyle Rudolph in the middle of the field. They have the weapons. They have to take out the offense, and then they got to take out the crowd. Because playing in New Orleans, I've been there in the playoffs. It is the real deal.
The real focus will be on Kirk Cousins in this game. But the Seattle Seahawks got to travel to Philadelphia. When you look at the Seattle Seahawks, Marshawn Lynch came back when Chris Carson went down. But this kid, Travis Homer, stepped in last week. He's a rookie running back for them. Had a big game for them. We all know when you sit there and you talk about the Seattle Seahawks, you're going to talk about their quarterback. And he's been very, very special. Talk about possibly an MVP. But they're going against a Philadelphia team that feel like they've been in the playoffs for like the last month.
You know why? Because they have. And I'll tell you why they're in the playoffs, Bill. Because Carson Wentz said, I'm going to lead the team and carry us on to victory. His attitude, the way he plays, the toughness he has showed on the field has been tremendous. And it's carried on over to the team. Look, they're out of weapons. What do they do to keep it going? I think Doug Peterson, look, he won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, but this is one of the best coaching jobs you can do.
No doubt.
He took nothing and created a new offense, and they found ways to. When you talk about matriculating the ball down the field, it's 4 yards at a time. And Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson, they got some big boys on that defense, but what a job for them.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, what do you call that big defensive line they have?
What do I call them? They got a bunch of tush hogs.
That's exactly.
Yeah, really big rear ends.
Fletcher
you
Cox.
can relate to that, right?
Well, when I see you, I can. Yes, exactly. But you're right about Carson Wentz, because it's almost like his MVP year they went to the Super Bowl.
That's exactly right.
Hey, folks, we are getting closer to kickoff in Foxborough as we take a look at Tom Brady. Folks, will this be the last time we see him in a Patriots uniform?
Oh, say that ain't so,
Boomer said no.
Hey, folks, we're counting down to kickoff in Foxborough, where the Titans and the Patriots will face off with the spot in the divisional round playoffs up for grabs as we welcome you back here to Studio 43. And, folks, as we move closer to game time, we turn our attention back to the coaching matchup. Coach, I love this. The tough-nosed, meticulous Mike Vrabel going against his mentor, Bill Belichick.
You know, we drafted Mike Vrabel back in 1997, and as a rookie, we played the New England Patriots, ironically, in the playoffs. And Mike Vrabel was the defensive end. He got a sack in that game. But when Mike Vrabel came to Pittsburgh in those 4 years coaching him, you just knew he had coaching in his blood. He wasn't big, he wasn't fast, but he was smart, he was tough. And I think when you look at his football team, they reflect what he is all about. He's a guy that holds you accountable. He's a guy who wants to play the game physical, tough, and smart. He was a disciplined football player, and the Tennessee Titans, they reflect him today.
Yeah, Coach, you make a good point talking about the team and how they reflect him. I was able to call the Tennessee Titans game last year, and I sat down with Mike Vrabel for the first time having an extended conversation. First thing I noticed is that he was a very confident individual. And you know what? It kind of borderline cocky. And I loved it because when I meet a head coach, just like when I met you for the first time on a personal note, I thought to myself, man, I would love to play for a guy like that. And that's what these players have. They have the character of what he is and what he used to be, and that's why they're playing so tough right now.
And I think we all know exactly what he's telling his team before they go out on the field. You know what, guys? I know those guys. We're better than they are. Yeah. Let's go out and let's go kick some you-know-what. And I would imagine that, you know, for Bill Belichick, going against one of his former coaches or former players, in this case, is a former player, only the former player, he's 14-13 in those 27 games. So the other guys know him really well. I just find it really hard to believe that they can go in there and beat the Patriots after what happened to them last year and with what happened to the Patriots last week against Miami. Phil, come on, you know this was a long week in New England up there. You know Bill Belichick has been all over these guys.
I do. I know he has.
And the reason that Phil was pausing is we wanted to give the audience an update that our game, the slip, has been now to move to 8:25. So the tip will be 8:25, tip, kick, whatever you want to get.
Right. Kickoff, they call it, not a tip-off.
Yes.
Yeah, that's basketball.
Just because you play basketball at home.
Those of us who watch basketball, we're accustomed to hearing
okay. Well, let me get back to, before I talk about the Patriots offense, so, Nate, you like Mike Vrabel because he was cocky, so you relate to that. Yes, I know you do. But here, let's watch this play really illustrates the New England offense and the struggles that they have had. Watch as you see Julian Edelman at the top or in the slot, and as he comes across the field, watch what they do. Miami double-teamed him almost every play, and Tom Brady couldn't get off of him. He kept looking at him, trying to hope he's going to get open, and that was not going to happen. I've seen it quite a few games this year. It'll be interesting to see if Mike Vrabel takes that approach to double-team Julian Edelman, or they try to blitz more than they usually do.
I am so glad that you are feeling so much better.
I'm feeling good.
You're spitting over here.
I am spitting all over.
And kicking.
Thank God it's you and not me.
It's flu season, so be careful. You know, here's the thing.
I'm not going to kiss you.
This whole thing about the Patriot offense and the fact that it isn't what it was, and Tom Brady's numbers are down, and, you know, they can't move the ball down the field, and he's not trusting his wide receivers other than Julian Edelman, maybe James White or Rex Burkhead out of the backfield, is because of one problem. Because Rob Gronkowski decided to retire.
Yeah.
He was uncoverable. So when you played against the Patriots and he was on the field, you had to do things differently. You know that, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
And so now he's not out there, and they are virtually getting nothing but offensive pass interference calls against their tight ends right now. This has killed their offense.
But isn't it the Patriot way? It's just to have the next guy up, step up. And to your point, Phil, you're making the point. Okay, let's just say that the Tennessee Titans come out, they double Julian Edelman, and then they smother the wide receivers at the line of scrimmage because they don't trust the speed of maybe a Dorsett to go past them. And you see Tom Brady this year dropping back and sort of hesitant with that ball because the trust isn't there. We're just coming off a segment where we were talking about how well Carson Wentz was playing. He's trusting the backups to the backups, and he's letting it go with full confidence. Tom Brady doesn't have that with guys that were supposed to move the ball for him. All I'm saying is, I get it. What you're saying is the Patriots are best at trying to figure out who they lost to and then winning the game when they play them again. But this is a different Titans team, and this is a different Patriots offense.
But it's also the playoffs. You get into the playoffs, and you're talking about Foxborough, it's a different element. Ryan Tannehill has never played in a playoff game. So I'm telling you, it's like the preseason and the regular season, amp that up a little bit in the playoffs. And talk about Tannehill in Foxborough, tell me he's not thinking about that. He's been up there 6 times as a starter and has walked away defeated each and every time. He has a better team, no question. We just talked about that with the eye vision. He has a better team around him. He's had a better season he's ever had. But you walk into that stadium, it's in the playoffs, and New England does not lose at home in the playoffs. That's in the back of their head.
The lights are a little bit brighter, Coach?
They're a little bit brighter right now. Playoffs a little bit different. We're 0-0. I don't care what you did in the regular season. It's 0-0. And the New England Patriots have a history of being able to turn this switch on.
I remember running out for my first playoff game at Giants Stadium. I go, wow, this is different. I mean, really, it was a great feeling to be part of that. Well, let's go back to that New England offense. Rob Gronkowski could block the end of the line of scrimmage so they can run outside. That's gone. He doesn't go down the field. That's gone. Mike Devlin, which people don't think about, the fullback. What did they do last year? They had more two-back running plays than anybody in the NFL. It won them the Super Bowl. They had Cordero Patterson for the gadget plays. So there's so many parts they are missing. They're missing Trent Brown at left tackle. So, hey, well, you said it. You got to adjust. That's the way the NFL is. They're 12-4. What a year with all those misses.
I'm going to segue using Bill Cowrie as the example, because I know when you prepared for games, there was no element that you left unturned, unexamined. And certainly that's going to be the case with our guy, Jay Feely. Again, I talked about the weather conditions in Foxborough. Should be foggy, temperature in the 40s, but Jay Feely will have the latest on the kicking conditions from Foxborough.
JB, it's been a struggle for both of these teams kicking the ball this year. They both used 4 different field goal kickers throughout the season. The Titans, the worst field goal percentage, 44% since 1983. They've gone through a number of different kickers. Santos, Parkey, suck up the original kicker who got hurt. Now Greg Joseph, who hasn't had a field goal attempt yet this season for the Titans, will have to come out here in a game that could be a defensive battle, points at a premium, and he's got to be able to make field goals. For the Patriots, normally 2 decades worth of stability. They come into this game, though, they've used 4 different kickers. Nick Folk, over the last 3 weeks, has done a good job, but it's been a struggle. 13 missed kicks this year, 6 extra points, 7 field goals. And for a team who struggled offensively, they need their field goal kicker to come out to make kicks when they have an opportunity in the red zone. The Patriots are a team that historically have been excellent on special teams. They have a battle this game. They know they have to win all 3 phases. Bill Belichick, Tom Brady told us that. For us to win this game, we have to win offensively, defensively, and special teams. That'll be a big factor in this game today.
Hey, Jay Feely, thank you so very much. And talk about an incisive report that you can relate to as a former special team.
Yeah, and Mike Vrabel is a special team guy. I mean, he made his living with us in Pittsburgh as a special teams player. And you remember, they've blocked a couple kicks going down the stretch here that have won them some games. And, you know, you're talking about the game element, the special teams part of it, the kicking, the situational football part of it, being able to finish drives. The one thing the New England Patriots have been able to do is finish drives with touchdowns. Again, goes back to Rob Gronkowski in the red zone. The other thing I think is going to be very important in this game is getting off to a fast start. If all of a sudden New England doesn't not get off to a fast start, does all of a sudden this last week start to enter into the picture? Is this, boy, maybe we aren't the team we once were? I just think a fast start for New England is very, very imperative in this game as opposed to getting one for the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, you know, I can't believe it's going to be the first time all year I'm going to talk about special teams, but it's a big point. It's a big point in this game, no doubt about it. If you ever watch Bill Belichick before a game, he spends most of his time talking to his special teams coach, Joe Judge, and they go over everything. Bill Belichick would be so happy to win today's game if his special teams get it done. That's the way he looks at it. He was started out as a special teams coach. They always have something ready for you that you're not ready for. You know, 11 guys up trying to block a punch. You go, that's stupid. And we almost see him get it done many times. So it's a big part of today's game, and I'm fascinated to watch it.
You know, I just hope that this is not the end of Belichick and Brady. That's all. I mean, if they lose, they lose. But I don't want to see Tom Brady in another uniform. I can't believe that all these reports are out there. And I know he's going to be a free agent, and he's never been at this point in his career. Heck, he's 43 years old. I don't know who's going to want a 43-year-old quarterback. I just wish he would stay with Belichick.
Don't you kind of want to see him leave the best to see if he can fly a little bit?
I don't know. I don't need to see that. You take a look at these numbers. Just stay right there. Stay with the coach. Just figure it out. I mean, you had so much success, and there's even more to come if you stay together, I believe. But the other thing, too, is Derrick Henry is a free agent at the end of this year. Remember, he was a second-round draft choice. He only signed a 4-year deal. He's in the 4th year of that deal right now. Next year, he will be a free agent, especially if the Titans franchise Ryan Tannehill. That means he's going to be open to the other 31 teams.
It's always about the money, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let me turn to our Super Bowl winning coach and ask, how did Nate handle winning the picks segment this year?
Not good.
He walked into our meeting this morning and said, reigning champ. He's been reigning for 1 week. So, I mean, like, you know.
Hey, Bill, you know what we should have done?
Yeah.
We should have just worn our Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Time now to deliver our picks with game day delivery presented by Amazon Echo. Titans or Patriots, and the final score, boom.
I got Patriots winning 30-27. I think it's going to be specialties. I think there's going to be turnovers in this game because of the weather, and I think the Patriots pull it out.
I got the Titans winning this game. Huge upset. There's going to be some kicking woes in this game. It's going to be 21-18 Titans.
It's not going to end. It's not supposed to end this way for Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Not at Foxborough, not in Gillette Stadium. New England's going to win this game 23-17.
All right. Well, I'm going to take the New England Patriots, too, because it's just the way they play, who they are, Tom Brady. Get a last chance, they'll get it done. I'm taking the Patriots 24-21.
Hold tight. Now, You did wear the reigning champion shirt.
That's right.
Given to you by?
Oh, given to me by my wife, yeah.
So, of course, you had to wear it, right?
I had to wear it. And she said...
You didn't have to wear it here, though.
You had it for...
Listen, I won. We picked the games this year, and I won. You got to accept it, Coach.
I did accept it.
I'm a smarter mind than you when it comes to football. My football IQ is superb.
Why do you feel so confident about the Titans tonight, though?
Well, I just feel like with how they're built and how they're playing when it comes to rhythm and chemistry, they're riding the wave that has got them to this point. The Patriots don't have that. They can pass the ball, run the ball, and I do feel like the defense is going to step up. They're going to smother the Patriots wide receivers, and I don't think the wide receivers are up for the challenge.
That's interesting because I think that the Patriots defensive backs can cover the wide receivers of the Tennessee Titans, but I'm interested to see Bill Belichick. Remember he came out with a great game plan at the Super Bowl because he didn't want Todd Gurley to get off running the football, and he didn't want Jared Goff outside the pocket. He could do the same thing today, crowd the line of scrimmage with 6 guys across with Dante Hightower in the middle, and I'll tell you, if he does that, it will come down to Ryan Tannehill.
You know, you sit here in games like this, it's about signal callers. It's about calling the right plays at the right time. You know, if you come out and you're Tennessee right now, you know Bill Belichick's going to try to take away the run. I would be throwing the ball early in this game and rely on Derrick Henry late in this game.
I'm telling you.
You have to go against the grain a little bit when you get in the playoffs.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. But I just say, if that happens, I think Stephon Gilmore is going to have a big game. He had a bad game last week against Devontae Parker and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Right.
It's as simple as that. It's been a long, again, I go back to it being a long week in New England. Everybody's talking about the demise of the Patriots and the fact that Tom Brady's going to be looking elsewhere and Josh McDaniels is going to be coaching elsewhere. They all want to get away from Bill Belichick. Whatever the reasons are, I'm with you, Coach. I think they show up big tonight.
Keep in mind saying that the Patriots will stop the run and stopping Derrick Henry is only one part of the problem. They still got to stop Ryan Tannehill, who's very athletic. You look at 2 quarterbacks playing right now. You got Deshaun Watson and Josh Allen. Those guys are using those legs. Big plays come when guys use their legs. The game that they lost to the Ravens early this season, it was Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram. They combined for 210 yards in that game and walked away with a victory. Watch for Ryan Tannehill leaving the pocket and using those legs to extend plays.
For New England's offense, be patient running the ball because their big plays will come through the play action. Their big plays comes with Edelman crossing the field. So I think the biggest thing for the New England Patriots is be patient in the running game. Stay with it. Shorten this game. Don't try to do too much early. And I know Bill's been in this situation before. Bill Belichick, that is. And again, Mike Vrabel, they're coming out of the locker room right now. Again, early in this game, you want to get a feel for each other. It's kind of like a big heavyweight boxing match, right? You don't want to lose your focus early in this game. You don't want to get the crowd into it if you're Tennessee. This way, you want to escape that early wave of emotion that the home team has.
Right.
Now let's get settled into the game.
Feel it out a little bit.
Feel it out.
Don't go for the big shot
right
early.
there, Tennessee, man. You come out there, feel it. Don't give them something to get excited about. And as this game goes on, we're going to wear on them. And that's the approach we're going to take. So we'll see if they can sustain it.
I think Mike Vrabel wanted to get into a fight. And by the way, I do think we may have an instant update from Houston. It looks like the Houston Texans have won the first wild card game of the day as they kick a field goal. And here's Deshaun Watson's going to get away from the rush. Look at this. Wow. Look at this play. How do you teach this play? This is going to get the ball down into field goal range for the Texans. Fairbairn will come on and kick a 28-yard field goal. And unfortunately for the Buffalo Bills, their terrific season under Sean McDermott in the second year for Josh Allen goes up in flames 22-19 in overtime to the Houston Texans.
And here was a Houston Texans team that was actually trailing 16-0 late in the third. So, Boomer, here are the latest looks.
Right, so as nobody knows where anybody's going just yet, simply because we have to wait to see what happens with the Titans and the Patriots. If the Patriots win, they'll go to Kansas City.
All right, folks, and kickoff is just moments away. AFC wild card, Titans and Patriots.
Coming up next.
It's the first new young